The events in this video are fictional as the characters portrayed within. Any similarities to anyone living or dead are merely coincidental and have been created at random by XCOM's name generator. Seriously.
And so begins the harrowing events that led to the massacre at the Nigerian gas station. Blinding Skull. Welcome one and all to the continuation of XCOM EW Long War II. So, first things first, soldier inventory. Let's get this out of the way quickly. Bruce Lee, average aim, AP and ceramic plating. Jennifer Aniston, below average aim, flash and smoke. Johnny Cash, below average aim, AP and HE. Tom Cruise, average aim, AP and flash. Denzel Washington, good aim, battle scanner and medkit. And lastly, Oliver Reed, with ridiculously bad aim, HE and AP. So what can we expect in terms of enemy count? Well, we were told the difficulty is moderate, which is going to be the equivalent of Vanilla's normal difficulty. And at this point of the campaign, on the normal difficulties in Vanilla, I usually found there are about 10 aliens. But this is Long War, and I still don't trust it. I might have guessed a couple of enemies too high in the last mission, but I'm not going to take any chances. So I'm going to expect 12 here. And what enemies can we expect? Well, so far we've encountered sectoids, drones, and an outsider, although I think we can exclude the outsider for this mission. I hear Long War has outsiders spawn in other places besides the ship's helm, but in other campaigns that I've played a good few months in, I've yet to see them outside of a UFO mission. But then of course there are always sectoid and drone leaders to mix things up. And look what I've spotted, a meld canister. So while I look around for some more meld, let's talk about this map real quick. Now I'm going to be blunt. The maps in XCOM are not balanced. To put it simply, the bigger a map is, the easier it is. As bigger maps allow the groups of aliens to spread out, lowering the risk that you might trigger one pack while fighting another. Smaller maps on the other hand can very quickly become clusterfucks. And on the smallest of maps you can be triggering a new group as each turn ends. Couple that with being pinned in low cover with nowhere to retreat to, and that little snowball can quickly build up and trample you. You can slightly alleviate this, if at all possible, by getting to a rooftop. This map on the other hand is extremely big and there are multiple rooftops. And even if you start on the much more common opposite side of the map, by all the trucks, you can still get to the gas pump's roof in the centre of the map before the mission's over. And we are starting on the easier side of the map, one turn away from the shop's roof. Now with that being said, let's get to the roof. So why immediately the roof, you might be wondering? Because every time I've played this map, I've always encountered a pod of aliens inside that shop. And before I make a breach, I want to have all my angles covered. So while Bruce Lee's check the roof is clear, Oliver Reed and Jennifer Aniston head for the window, making sure they stay in concealment away from any prying eyes inside. Denzel Washington then backs Bruce Lee up by the roof, leaving Johnny Cash and Tom Cruise to cover the door. And there's the meld canister we spotted, and judging by the indicator, it's also the closest one. Bruce Lee takes the nearest cover, and Denzel Washington follows him closely, battle scanner in hand. So in preparation to breach the shop, I want to know if there are any aliens out the front, because I don't want to trigger anything nasty as I drop down to flank. So Washington throws his all-seeing eye. And surprise, surprise. Now this changes things. I don't want to go through the shop and trigger any more, but I do need to take these guys out. So I bring most of my firepower to the roof.
Location confirmed.
Aye, aye.
Shuffling Cruise and Cash to cover the window.
Affirmative. Commander.
Looks like Oliver Reed's up for the AP.
Moving.
He's just shy a couple of tiles, so he carefully moves up by Lee.
Frag out.
Oh damn, buddy, you all messed up. Hey, you gonna be okay, pal? I know first aid.
Open fire.
So with that rescue attempt thwarted, our two neighbourhood sectoids bolt. So why are rooftops so good, Mickey? Because rooftops give a flat aim bonus of plus 20 over their targets, as long as the target is at least one full block beneath them, which is about this. And as Washington's got the best aim, I bring him up to the front. And with the height advantage of plus 20, that makes his 70 go into a solid 90% to hit, which he takes for the kill. That's what they get for showing up our healthcare service. The other guy's going to be a bit of a problem though. As neither of us are a full block above the other, no one gets the height advantage aim bonus, And on top of that, he's a sectoid leader, which means he gets low profile, and takes half cover as if it was full cover. So while Aniston takes concealment of that billboard, Bruce Lee covers Oliver Reed, as he's already used up all his moves this turn.
Moving out.
Lastly, Cruz and Cash get ready to join them on the roof.
Getting it done.
Thankfully, he panics and hunkers down. And from the looks of it, there's more than one meld canister. But that'll have to wait. As Aniston demonstrates, that little guy can't be grenaded without one of my guys standing out in the open. So plan B, I need to get that sectoid leader to move. And I can do this by hiding all of my squad. So Bruce Lee moves to the back edge of the roof to see if the sectoid leader has a shot on him.
Copy that.
And looks like the answer's no. So that's my plan. Reed dashes to join Lee at the far edge. Aniston makes room for Washington as he's got the better aim. Washington takes her place. And Cruz and Cash move out of sight between Lee and Reed. So there we have it. Everyone's out of sight. With that turnover, time for Washington to take a peek. Perfect. That little paramedic's not on the roof anymore. Unfortunately, the question now is, where the f*** is he? You see, that's the problem with concealment. While it guarantees the early game enemy can't hit you without moving, it means they too can end up in concealment when their move ends. So Lee moves up to help find that little bugger. And Cash drew the short straw, so he's getting the low cover. But no visible enemies gives Cruz and Reed the opportunity to get some more high ground. The day I recorded this, I had a lot more patience, because this is around the time it occurs to me where that little shit could be hiding. That pickup truck down there offers full cover, and with it concealment. And you see, the reason I'm so concerned is that by moving to the corner of the truck here, he'd have a flanking shot on Washington. Now you might think that's a bit of an odd angle for the shot to make, but let's just say it's happened to me before. And as none of my troops are in range to check, I do something that I'm rarely willing to do. Bruce Lee might have burned one AP grenade, but at least we know for certain he's not down there. And in Ironman mode, it's always worth burning a grenade on the off chance it might save a soldier's life. So nothing to do besides wait and see where he turns up. And that little indicator finally tells me there's no one in the store beneath me, as it always points in the direction of the nearest enemy. And there goes the meld, but hey, what you gonna do? I advance Cruz and Reed to get a better position.
On my way.
Thankfully still no contacts. So it's time to play the waiting game again. And finally, there he is! Wow, that little sucker's moved far.
They're starting to lose ground.
Oh, no, wait, there he goes. So now we know where he is, it's safe to move Cruz up to the low cover by the edge of the roof, while Reed dashes over to join Lee by the full cover. Aniston pops her head out, but nothing. I guess that guy ran off into the night to help some other abduction victim.
On the move.
Then I move Cash away from low cover to prepare for the next turn, as I want his 2 grenades on the low ground.
Oh, hey, look, it's XCOM. Hey, guys, you need to use Sky Ranger field.
So 3 more helpful gas pump attendees, and things are starting to heat up. Cruz has got a shot, but it's not worth the risk leaving him in low cover. So I start to hatch another plan. And again, I'm going for concealment. Lee moves around for a better angle,
That's affirmative.
while Reed and Cash take their grenades with them into concealment in the garage.
Location.
While Cruz drops down to the concealment that high cover offers from that pickup truck. What? No, they can't look over high cover, so it should offer concealment as they don't have line of sight. Don't screw me over, game, I had a great plan. Cruz should only have a line of sight here and here. Well, at least he can dash his way back to full cover. And hey, luckily it still offers concealment, so Overwatch it is. Oh, come on, Washington. You really got to try better than that. But speaking of which, Bruce Lee takes the kill Washington let slip by. And of the remaining 2, one dashes up, and the other one follows him to go into Overwatch. It'd be preferable to get rid of the guy in Overwatch so I don't have to burn 2 grenades. And it looks like Washington's got a good shot here, with a 60% chance to hit. So he takes it. To make up for the one he let slip by. Now that last guy's in a lot of trouble. All eyes are trained on him, and I've even got Cruz and Reed ready for a flank. But let's give Lee his 54% chance. A solid hit, but no deal. Looks like Cruz will have to finish the job.
On my way.
And with 64%,
See ya in hell.
takes out another gas station worker, making things look easy. So that entire pod of aliens is down, leaving that sneaky little sectoid leader from the last pack in retreat.
That's affirmative.
So it's time to start looking for him.
Come Overwatch. Aye, aye. It's killing time.
I'm a bit hesitant as I want to be on the safe side. But still with no contact, so it's time to start moving out. Cash moves up first by the cab. And with the concealment of the van, Reed takes point.
Roger, tracking.
While Cruz takes his old spot. Cash hunkers down, and the rest go into Overwatch as they're in full cover.
Commander.
And we're given a good indication of where he might be.
Copy that.
So I have Cash join Reed in concealment,
On the move.
and move Cruz round for a better position. So everyone goes into Overwatch. And with everyone in position, it's time for Reed to take a peek. Okay. I wonder where he is. So I bring Cruz round for a second opinion. And that little fuck is a damn ninja. He's just in the right place, that pillar offers him concealment from Reed. But at least we know where he is. That means if need be, we can grenade him. And seeing as both Reed and Cash have HE grenades, that means we have control of the situation. Not a surefire thing to blow up the cab with 2 HE grenades since Long War, but it's still far more likely than not. And on top of that, Cash's AP is even in range. So with all that being said, I let Tom Cruise burn his 19% shot.
No longer a threat.
Oh damn, I guess luck does work both ways. Cruise giving no shits about that sectoid leader's low profile, or the fact that he was just there to fill up that cab. So with the situation resolved and no more enemies active, time to go into Overwatch. And as I said, with no more enemies active, that means I can leave everybody out from cover. So I have the roof team drop down. More muttering on the wind means more sectoids. So let's get to a better position, which would mean the second roof of this evening's entertainment. Cruz leads the way, and unsurprisingly no contacts, so everyone else follows.
Getting it done. Aye, aye, Commander. Copy that.
So I'm ready for the next engagement, and with Washington having the best aim, he's up first. And nothing.
I'm rolling.
I'm rolling. Roger that. Yes.
Oh, there they are. Yeah, run you little shits. You don't know what's about to hit you. Right, so if they're on the east side of the gas station, I'll just move everybody up to the east side of the roof.
Affirmative.
Solid copy.
I got my eyes on.
Oh, damn you, poor guy.
Bye-bye.
Hey Dave, you okay, buddy? Oh shit!
And you guys just walked into the perfect bullet storm. Oh, nice! Oh, and there's still more? Whoa! And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why the high ground is so good. Yeah, where's your alien first aid service now? So with that unbelievable feat out of the way, one active guy left.
I got my eyes on.
Oh, nothing? That's okay, I can wait. I hear you. Ah! Fell for my trap again! Well, at least it wasn't a miss. In full cover and all my guys can see him. What am I to do? Screw it, Aniston, you're up, 37%. Too bad, Lee, you're next, 39%. And job done. And that concludes my tutorial on rooftops. Now's around the time that I recap the most memorable moment of the mission. What am I gonna choose? So, what the hell happened here? And why didn't everyone fire at once? Firstly, I have to point out I would not have left my entire squad in half cover if there were more than 2 aliens active, and it was just by blind luck that other packs stumbled into the killing fields. So, let's take a closer look. Because of the angle and the concealment that van offers, Cash, Lee and Aniston don't have a shot. Washington, Reed and Cruz do, but Washington's 1 tile out of range. So Reed and Cruz take their shots, and unfortunately for the poor guy, they both score a hit, dealing 4 and 5 respectively. Next up are the wrong time, wrong place sectoids, giving Cash, Lee and Aniston their chance to shine. Because they're spread out enough, Lee and Aniston go for the sectoid on the right, leaving Cash with the sectoid on the left, and although I couldn't tell at the time, in the replay it looks like Aniston missed a shot. Luckily, Lee finished him off, dealing 5 damage, while Cash scored on the sectoid on the left, dealing 4 damage. And lastly, leaving Washington with that sectoid that finally comes into range, scoring 5 damage. So, shots fired 6, aliens killed 4, hits given 0. And so ends the harrowing tale of the massacre at the Nigerian gas station. Back at base, and we've got a bunch of promotions.
And without so much as a scratch.
Lee and Cruz thinks all this shooting guns malarkey's for losers, and can become a medic or an engineer, while Washington, Reed and Cash thinks that shooting guns is the best thing since sliced bread, and get to be either assaults or infantry, leaving Aniston, who's still working out which end of her gun the bullets come out of. And look at all that loot, because no sectoids died from explosions.
We will be in touch, Commander.
So with no other base obligations, let's spin that globe.
Excavation complete. Access lift operational.
Oh yeah, sure, why not, let's dig a little deeper. And amazingly, an entire week has passed without incident.
Commander, we're tracking several reported abductions via the hologlobe. I've got the coordinates locked in.
Bit late to the party, but I'll take it. So with all my troops rested, it's finally time for those promotions. First up are the heavies, and they get to choose between Gunner and Rocketeer. And we have Juliet Binoche, Julia Roberts and Owen Wilson. And as Owen Wilson has the best aim by far, he becomes a Rocketeer. Because in Long War the rocket's accuracy depends entirely on the soldier's aim. You might have noticed Owen Wilson changed his armour tint as he upgraded. That's a new feature in Long War, and can be entirely customised by class. Next we have Juliet Binoche, with the least aim of the trio, and as Gunner's primary function early on is suppression, and suppression doesn't require aim, she becomes a Gunner, leaving Julia Roberts in reserve, depending on the soldiers that get promoted and what I need later. Next up we have the supports, who can become grenade throwing engineers or medics, and these are Bruce Lee, Tom Cruise, Keith Richards and Ronald Reagan, still in sickbay. So if engineers just throw grenades, and medics heal, who's going to get the good accuracy? The way I see it, in combat engineers aren't going to be using their guns, but medics will, so the high aim soldiers are going to be heading down the path of first aid, while the soldiers that are half blind are going to get the exploding pineapples. What could go wrong? So with Keith Richards having the lowest aim by far, he's going to become the engineer, getting the grenadier perk, increasing the throwing distance of all grenades by 20% and the damage of all offensive grenades by approximately 1. And although Tom Cruise and Bruce Lee have the same accuracy, Tom Cruise has got a fair bit more health, and losing a medic when things are going bad could make things go a hell of a lot worse. So Cruise gets to carry the 3 medkits. And then we've got the damage dealers, infantry and assault. Denzel Washington, Robin Fenty, Al Pacino, Oliver Reed and Johnny Cash. And the class my high accuracy soldiers are going to go into here is infantry. It might be dangerous having low aim assaults, as the times that they're needed it's essential they function as intended and don't miss those crucial shots, but a bad accuracy infantry is going to be completely useless, so that's where the aims go in here. Besides, it's the assault's job to cover the distance and make up for that bad aim. First and foremost for infantry is going to be Denzel Washington with his 70 aim, and he gets Light 'em Up, which is essentially the heavy's vanilla perk, Bullet Swarm, meaning if the first thing he does is shoot, it doesn't end his turn. Next up is Oliver Reed with the lowest aim becoming an assault, doing what all assaults do best, run and gun, allowing him to perform a dash but still shoot afterwards. Again, using that logic, Robin Fenty becomes an infantry, and Johnny Cash an assault, leaving Al Pacino in reserve to see who else gets promoted. And lastly, we have the scout sniper, Ali Einstein and Paul Newman still in sickbay. And given Paul Newman's atrocious f***ing aim, I will never trust him with a sniper rifle, so we might as well make him a scout now. Increasing defense against Overwatch shots by 75. Yeah, that's right buddy, you're not even out of sickbay and your new job's going to be taking all the Overwatch fire. That leaves Einstein with his new sniper rifle. And yeah, that's right, tier 1 snipers are actually useful. They get squad sight right off the bat, meaning as long as one of his teammates can see the enemy and he has line of sight, he can take the shot, regardless of range. No more spoon feeding snipers kills. Right, so the abduction mission. As abduction missions are far more likely to be in enclosed spaces than UFO missions, I'm going to leave the sniper behind. And same goes for the medic. In my opinion, I found abduction missions far more often than UFO missions tend to be outright brawls with no time to heal. So Einstein and crews are going to get left behind. But as we've got 2 infantry, I'll bring Denzel Washington along. And Washington, like all my infantry, gets a laser sight to increase his aim even further, and high cap mags, because I want him to keep shooting all day long. Next up we've got Oliver Reed as our short-sighted assault, who gets a laser sight to make up for the aim and an AP grenade. And the last of our skilled troops will be taking Owen Wilson, just in case things get too hot and I need some high explosives, in the form of a rocket or 2. Now usually I'd give a rocketeer an extra rocket to fire, and a laser sight to compensate for the extra rocket's aim penalty due to its weight, but Owen Wilson is really lacking in health, so I think I'll leave the laser sight and give him ceramic plating. So who are our rookies going to be? Let's see if we can get Christian Bale and Jennifer Aniston a promotion. Last but not least, joining them is going to be Nicolas Cage, the only completely green-faced soldier in the roster. So what are they going to get? Christian Bale's got above average aim, so he gets a battle scanner and a flashbang. Jennifer Aniston's got below average aim, so she gets an AP and a flashbang. And lastly, before we head off, Nicolas Cage, who's got the best aim of all the rookies, so he gets a smoke and a medkit. So we're all set and good to go.
Strike 1. Prepare for landing.
For Operation Stone
To
Empire.
South Africa for this one, and we need to get down there fast.
Unfortunately, our time here is coming to a close, so it's going to have to be next week.
Bye-bye.
Double kill! Triple kill! He's down. Neutralized. Monster kill. Humiliation.
No longer a threat.